All right, hopefully everything is working now. This is my third take of this video. I've done the presentation twice in full. First time it had no audio. Second time it used my camera, which as you see, is kind of glitchy, and thus so was the audio. So third try, third time's a charm. Um, Good afternoon, fourth period college writing. Wonderful turnout today. There's so many of you today. Hello, Mr. Irakawa. Hope you're doing well over there. Um, so let's get started with it. I'm here today to talk about The Simpsons and why they are so good at predicting the future. Oh, we got to change this size. Oh, yeah, there we go. So, what is The Simpsons? For any of you who don't know, anyone who's possibly living under a rock, The Simpsons is an animated comedy classic that has been on the air since 1980. Excuse me. After first appearing as a 60-second short on the Tracy Ullman Show. The show primarily revolves around the life of the Simpsons family, who lives in Springfield, which is a made-up town, although there is Springfield, Illinois, I believe. Um, but the town is based off of Portland, Oregon, actually, where Matt Groening grew up. But it's supposed to represent any town in America. So the Simpsons predict the future. Like, what's the deal with that? This quote here says, "Whenever something noteworthy or downright idiotic takes social media by storm, a die-hard Simpsons fan will appear in the comments with a GIF, video, or screen grab to prove that the brilliant prognosticators, I think I said that right, on the show's writing staff predicted the event and/or calamity long ago." The extensive fan base that The Simpsons has gathered over its 3.5 decade runtime will always find a way to relate. Oh my gosh, um, relate something to The Simpsons that's like happened in the news or something, and like they can even like pinpoint like, ah, yeah, it was this episode. This is where they said it. Um, an example of this actually came true this year in March. In 1996, Fox aired the episode Homerpalooza, where the London Symphony Orchestra and Cypress Hill are at this concert. This rock festival, and one of the roadies is like who, like, like who put why is London Symphony Orchestra here? And then like Cypress Hill, I'm looking at you. Uh, and so this year, Cypress Hill actually announced that they are going and doing shows with the London Symphony Orchestra, and fans are wondering if it's because of The Simpsons, or if they actually did predict it, or if it is just brilliant music that is going to happen. But is it just The Simpsons that's predicting these things? Short answer is nah. Um, it might seem like it though, because there's so much Simpsons. Like, it's over 35 years of show, which is like 750 plus episodes. There's movie, there's multiple games, there's like so much Simpsons content that there's just like such a wide chance, such a wide blanket of content and jokes that something is bound to actually line up with something that happens in the real world. An example of this happening in like a different show, for example, is in Parks and Recreation. That so this episode came out in 2013, and Patton Oswalt's character was participating in a filibuster, and he goes on this whole rant about how Boba Fett is going to return in a later film. So here we can watch this. The top video is the clip from the show, and the bottom is the clip from the Boba Fett show that perfectly follows what he says here. So here, let's take a watch.
Pan down from the twin suns of Tatooine. We are now close on the mouth of the Sarlacc pit. After a beat, the gloved Mandalorian armor gauntlet of Boba Fett grabs onto the sand outside the Sarlacc pit, and the feared bounty hunter pulls himself from the maw of the sand beast.
Okay, this is exactly...
And we realize that he survived his fall during the battle at Jabba's palace ship.
Like, you've seen this, right? Like, that was shot for shot. How did he manage to do that?
Pan down from the twin sun.
But probably not real because John Favreau, who wrote like the Boba Fett stuff, um, probably like intentionally followed this like shot for shot because he's like ah yeah, people like me or people like who are like looking for all of these predictions. He wrote it for them. Like, oh, this is exactly happening. So just fans of Parks and Rec went crazy when this came out. They're like, oh, Patton Oswalt predicted it. This is exactly how it went down. But it was planned to be that way, which I think is funny. And so this is where the ideas of more like educated predictions come in, where it's like context and like past things that have happened. And so, like an example of this, of a more educated prediction, is like Disney buying Fox, for example. In an episode of The Simpsons that aired in 1998, there was a sign that said 20th Century Fox, a division of Walt Disney Co. Um, and this later came true in 2017 when Disney purchased Fox. And so this isn't the most wild prediction there is. It's pretty common for a big company to buy another big company. Like I I wouldn't be surprised. So this is something that the writers kind of just guessed would happen, uh, and like it makes sense. And so the Simpsons razor is another way of guessing and saying all of this works. So, but the Simpsons razor is a parody of Occam's razor, which suggests the simplest explanation is often the best. And so the Simpsons razor instead states that the dumbest outcome will be the most likely to happen in any given cinematic situation. An example of this could be seen in an episode such as Bart to the Future, where Lisa was the president of the United States preceding Donald Trump. And so, like, at the time, people are like, what? Trump is president? Nah, that wouldn't happen. But flash forward to 2016, where womp womp, Trump is president. They're like, what? How? Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I've had a cough for like the past few days, and I was just almost dying. What's up? Of course, the take where everything is perfect. I have to mess up somehow. Anyways, Trump becoming president 2016, people are like, what? Simpsons guessed this like crazy thing. Um, but that's not actually the case. According to interviews with some of the writers for the show, if you make enough predictions, then 10% of them will turn out to be right. Stephanie Gills, another writer for the show, says we're sort of futurologists in that we write 10 months ahead, so we're trying to guess what is going to happen. So Algene says that in the interview that Trump had briefly talked about running for president back in 1999, and then the episode that I had mentioned before, Bart to the Future, came out in 2000, and so that's where it showed that he was president in The Simpsons at one point. And so that makes sense. Like that timeline there, like this thing happened in 1999. You're like, okay, let's write about it. Let's put that in the show. Um, and then 2000, it was in the show. But if you were to watch that episode in like 2024, like present day, without the knowledge that Trump mentioned possibly running for president, because he actually did, in general elections, but he like never made it like anywhere near actually doing anything. Um, but if you were to like watch that without that knowledge, you're like, what? This is crazy. But if you now that you know, you're like, oh, it's just context clues and like the writers predicting what would happen and then writing it. And so then like when it happens in 2016, they're like, okay, this happened back in 2000. Why didn't like this is crazy. So it's not predictions, it's just luck and context. So unfortunately, the Simpsons are not prophets from the future. I'm sorry. Sorry, I have to break it to you. Um, it's just an amalgamation of context clues and writers being good at doing their job and writing things that are funny and crazy that could actually have a possibility of happening, such as like London Symphony Orchestra and Trump. And then it's not just The Simpsons that do it, like Parks and Rec. Other instances include Arrested Development. One of the plot lines of that was that they were running for local office. They wanted to build a southern border wall. Again, okay, a lot of things are happening with Trump, but like that happens. It's not crazy. It's not predicting the future. It's just funny writing. Uh, Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Um, Sorry for all my coughing. Have a good rest of your day. Period 4. Goodbye, Mr. Irakawa. Hope you were mildly amused. I might be over time, but sue me.